Good morning, lovely folks, and welcome to lesson 138. My cat Eppie has decided to join us this morning. She's making herself comfortable over there. So let's take a moment as we arrive this morning just to consider those that we might like to send extra love and light to, those where extra grace might be required. We can just close our eyes down and bring those people into our awareness, always knowing that where mind goes, energy flows. And so we consciously choose to direct love from our hearts to their hearts. And then we'll bow our heads. We begin this day in gratitude. We open our hearts and we surrender to love. We ask love to lead the way through the minutes and the hours of this new day. We welcome joy, fun, and abundant prosperity. We recognize that all encounters are wholesome and that all experiences can be met with a peaceful heart that is anchored in the truth that we are one, that we are love, and that we are free. And so we release these words and we let it be. Amen. Okay, so we're on lesson 138. 138 is heaven is a decision that I must make. And what this really means is we're choosing for peace. We're choosing peace, we're choosing love, we're choosing heaven over hell whilst we're here in a body. So in this world, heaven is a choice because here we believe that there are alternatives to choose between. We think that all things have an opposite, and what we want, we choose. If heaven exists, there must be hell as well. For contradiction is the way we make what we perceive and what we think is real. Creation knows no opposite. But here is opposition, part of being real. It is this strange perception of truth that makes the choice of heaven seem to be the same as the relinquishment of hell. It is not really thus. Yet what is true in God's creation cannot enter here until it is reflected in some form the world can understand. Truth cannot come where it could only be perceived with fear, for this would be the error truth can be brought to illusions. Opposition makes the truth unwelcome, and it cannot come. So basically, because we live in this world of illusions and it seems very, very real to us, then the language of the course and how we make our decisions is based on the fact that we live in an illusion. If we didn't live in an illusion, we wouldn't need this and we wouldn't be needing to make choices because we would know that only heaven exists. So choice is the obvious escape from what appears as opposites. Decision lets one of conflicting goals become the aim of effort and expenditure of time. Without decision, time is just a waste and effort dissipated. It is spent for nothing in return, and time goes by without results. There is no sense of gain, for nothing is accomplished and nothing learned. You need to be reminded that you think 1,000 choices are confronting you, but really there is but one for you to make. And even this but seems to be a choice, so it appears as a choice. Do not confuse yourself with all the doubts that myriad decisions would induce. You make but one. And when that one is made, you will perceive it was no choice. You will perceive it was no choice at all. For truth is true and nothing else is true. There is no opposite to choose instead. There is no contradiction to the truth. Choosing depends on learning, and truth cannot be learned, but only recognized. Its acceptance lies in recognition, and as it is accepted, it is known. But knowledge is beyond the goals we seek to teach within the framework of this course. Ours are teaching goals to be attained through learning how to reach them, what they are and what they offer you. Decisions are the outcome of your learning, for they rest on what you have accepted as the truth of what you are and what your needs must be. In this insanely complicated world, heaven appears to take the form of choice rather than merely being what it is. So because we live in insanity, we live in confusion, we live in this illusion, we feel we have to choose for heaven instead of realizing that heaven is just there. Of all the choices you have tried to make, this is the simplest, most definitive and prototype of all the rest, the one which settles all decisions. If you could decide the rest, this one remains unsolved. Yet when you solve this one, the others are solved with it. For all other decisions conceal this one by taking different forms. Here is the final and only choice in which truth is accepted or denied. So in choosing heaven, the other way you could put this is to put love first. So, or put God first. So choose God, choose love at the beginning of every day and for the rest of your life. And if you put love first, then all its gifts will be added onto you. But you've got to choose that first and not last. So, and this is what we're doing when we get up every morning and, we do our prayer, we make our offering and we read our lesson. We're making that choice for heaven. And we want to continue to make it then as we move through our day until it becomes where we dwell, that we actually dwell in heaven rather than in hell. So we begin today considering the choice the time was made to help us make. Such is its holy purpose, now transformed from the intent you gave it, that it be a means for demonstrating hell is real, hope changes to despair, and life itself must end and be overcome by death. In death alone are opposites resolved, for ending opposition is to die, and thus salvation must be seen in death, for life is seen as conflict. To resolve the conflict is to end your life as well. So we tend to live in this sense of hopelessness, and that the only thing we can do is die to escape the misery of the life that we feel we live in. Again, strong words, but the words are just to really drive the message home. These mad beliefs can gain unconscious hold of great intensity and grip the mind with terror and anxiety so strong that it will not relinquish its ideas about its own protection. It must be saved from salvation, threatened to be safe, and magically armoured against the truth. And these decisions are made unaware to keep them safely undisturbed, apart from question and from reason and from doubt. So any of those choices that you make for hell are made much more unconsciously. You're unaware of what you're choosing, but you find yourself in places of anxiety or stress. That's the easiest way to relate to it. We don't have to overcomplicate this. We can look at where we feel anxious, worried, stressed, bothered, hopeless, all of those words which are familiar, I'm sure, to all of you. And I know they have been to me many times in my life and crop up still at times. So heaven is chosen consciously. You decide this. The choice cannot be made until alternatives are accurately seen and understood. So, would I rather live in pain and sorrow and stress and anxiety, or would I rather live in heaven? All that is veiled in shadows must be raised to understanding, to be judged again, this time with heaven's help. So for me, this is one of the first places in the lessons where we're really invited to bring everything up and to look at it, like to realize how much has been held in shadows and raise it up to understanding and have a look at it again. Have a look at your life, have a look at where you are, have a look at your feelings. And this time with heaven's help, so you bring love into everything. Like literally everything you bring love in. And all mistakes in judgment that the mind had made before are open to correction, as the truth dismisses them as causeless. Now are they without effects. So we're taking the energy out of them now. It's like sapping them of their energy. They cannot be concealed because their nothingness is recognized. So we begin to realize the meaninglessness of torturing ourselves and of holding things against ourselves and of holding things against others. All the blocks to love, we start to realize, have no meaning, have no value, have no worth. The conscious choice of heaven is as sure as is the ending of the fear of hell, when it is raised from its protective shield of unawareness and is brought to light. Who can decide between the clearly seen and unrecognized? Yet who can fail to make a choice between alternatives when only one is seen as valuable and the other as a wholly worthless thing, an imagined source of guilt and pain? Who hesitates to make a choice like this? And will we hesitate to choose today? So I urge you not to hesitate. We make the choice for heaven as we wake and spend 5 minutes making sure that we have made the one decision that is sane. We recognize we make a conscious choice between what has existence and what has nothing but an appearance of the truth. Its pseudo-being, brought to what is real, is flimsy and transparent in the light. It holds no terror now, for what was made enormous, vengeful, pitiless with hate, demands obscurity for fear to be invested there. Now is recognized as just a foolish, trivial mistake. And this could be as large as someone that maybe you haven't spoken to for many, many years. And you might realize that you were so filled with fear and what a mistake that was. And you can ask guidance from the Holy Spirit as to what you need to do. But, it can be something that feels pretty big and you can choose heaven in this situation. It could be a repeated pattern that you have or a habit that you have. And you can start to see the trivial mistake of blaming yourself, of being angry with yourself, and you can invite heaven into that situation. So heaven has a place literally everywhere in your life. Before we close our eyes and sleep tonight, we reaffirm the choice that we have made each hour in between. And now we give the last 5 minutes of our waking day to the decision with which we awoke. As every hour passes, we declare our choice again. in a brief, quiet time devoted to maintaining sanity. And finally, we close the day with this, acknowledging we choose only what we want. Heaven is the decision I must make. I make it now and will not change my mind, because it is the only thing I want. So we're going to spend 5 minutes with this now. And, really, it's such a beautiful and easy choice to make, and to realize it is the only thing you want. Like, all you want is peace. All you want is love in your life, and peace and ease, And if you're seeking other than that, you're in the wrong place, because this course is all about finding peace and choosing heaven. So I choose heaven. So maybe we'll haven for a moment or two, actually, with this one. It would be nice. So heaven is a decision I must make. I make it now. I will not change my mind, because it is the only thing I want. So let's gently close our eyes down. You can bring your hands onto your shoulders and begin to stroke from shoulders down to elbows. And as you do, just repeating, I choose heaven. I choose heaven. I choose heaven. I choose heaven. I choose peace. I choose peace. I am in heaven. I am in heaven. I am at peace. I am at peace. I choose heaven. I choose heaven. I choose peace. I choose peace. I am in heaven. I am in heaven. I am at peace. I am at peace. I am at peace. Then perhaps taking your hands onto your face and gently stroking. I choose heaven. I choose heaven. I choose heaven. I choose heaven. I choose peace. I choose love. I choose ease. I choose grace. I choose heaven. I choose peace. I choose ease. I choose grace. I choose love. And then pausing for a moment or two and repeating, heaven is a decision I would make. When you're ready, gently opening your eyes. Enjoy your practice today. So every hour, on the hour, heaven is a choice that I must make, or that I would make. Or simply even saying, I choose heaven. And before you go to sleep tonight, have a great day.